time I'll call to order the May 15, 2025 meeting of the Clearwater City Council. If you wish to address the council tonight, please complete a comment card. Comment cards are located by the clerk, seated to the right on the dais. When called to speak, please hand your card to the clerk. This time we'll move to item 2 on the agenda, and that's our invocation. I'd like to call forward Major Ted Morris with the Salvation Army to deliver tonight's invocation and ask all to remain standing afterwards for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's bow for prayer. Our Father, we thank you for the fact that we live in a country where we can meet like this to witness the leadership of our city by people who are involved in the leadership and those who are interested in the management of our city. We thank you for the service provided by our mayor, by our vice mayor, and by the members of the council. We thank you for the service provided also by those who are hired to serve in this way, city attorney and the city managers, first responders and law enforcement, people who walk into areas of danger rather than away from them. Father, we just thank you that we are here this evening. And Father, may this be a time of listening, of discussion, of deliberation, and may the decisions made be in accordance with your will for this city as those in leadership, those who've been placed in leadership, have the responsibility of doing so. Thank you again for their leadership and their service provided for our community. For it's in your holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Major Morris. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we begin tonight's meeting, I'd like to introduce those at the dais. To my far left is our City Clerk, Rosemarie Call.
Good evening.
To her right is our City Attorney, David Margolis.
Good evening.
To his right is Councilmember Ryan Cotton.
Good evening.
To his right and my left is Councilmember Mike Menino.
Good evening.
To my right is Councilmember David Albritton.
Good evening.
To his right is Vice Mayor Lena Teixeira.
Good evening.
To her right is our City Manager, Jennifer Poirier.
Good evening.
And to her right is Assistant City Manager Dan Slaughter. And now, for his first City Council meeting, to Assistant City Manager Slaughter's right is our new Assistant City Manager, Al Battle. I will move to item 4 on the agenda and 4.1 in particular. We'll go first to our 30-year employee award, and I'd like to call forward Chris Thorne from Clearwater Gas System.
Chris Thorne began his professional journey with the United States Air Force, where he developed the discipline and commitment that would define his career. Following his military service and the completion of his college degree, Chris entered the gas industry as a sales representative for a local propane supplier. His exceptional performance quickly drew the attention of competitors, including Clearwater Gas. In May of 1995, after some persuasive recruiting, Chris joined the Clearwater Gas System as a builder representative. In this role, he cultivated key relationships with local developers, crafted cost-effective proposals, and secured contracts for the residential and commercial developments within the Clearwater Gas service area. His contributions were instrumental in expanding natural gas services to previously unserved communities in Clearwater, Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, and South Pasco County. Chris's achievements did not go unnoticed. In September of 1998, he was honored with the Florida Natural Gas Association Marketer of the Year Award, recognizing his outstanding impact in the field. A few months later, in November of 1998, Chris was promoted to sales manager where he led the sales division with distinction. He introduced best practices, set and achieved ambitious sales goals, and mentored his team during a time of rapid growth, helping CGS become one of the fastest growing municipally owned utilities in the country. In response to shifting departmental needs after the Great Recession, Chris transitioned to his current role as commercial representative, a position he continues to excel in today. He works closely with new businesses and restaurants to establish natural gas services while also engaging existing commercial customers to educate them on the benefits of converting to cost-effective, reliable natural gas. Since 2010, Chris has sold over 2.2 million in appliances, delivered 6.65 million therms of natural gas, sold 41,571 gallons of LP propane gas, and added 2,633 new customers. Outside of his work, Chris enjoys off-road adventures and day trips with his longtime partner, Debbie. Thank you, Chris, for 30 years of dedicated service. Your commitment to teamwork, customer service, and civic duty exemplifies our strategic plan of superior public service and truly shows how you make Clearwater thrive. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you for your years of service with us. For our next service award, it's our bi-monthly team award for May, June 2025. This time I'd like to call forward our pop-up permitting team, Roxana Severa, David Clark, Adrian Young, Dylan Prinz, Sarah Kessler, and Jean Henry.
In the aftermath of Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the Planning and Development Department took swift action to support the community by establishing the Beach Pop-Up Permitting Center. This initiative was designed to streamline the recovery process, providing residents and business owners with direct access to staff, critical information, and permitting guidance. The core team members, Rocky, David, Adrian, Dylan, Jean, and Sarah, have played a vital role in the center's success. Every day since its launch, the dedicated team has been on site at the beach, engaging with homeowners and contractors, assessing property damage, and offering essential resources to facilitating rebuilding. Strategically positioned in the heart of the affected area, the pop-up center ensures that those impacted by the storms receive timely, accessible support. Beyond providing technical assistance on regulations and rebuilding, staff has served as compassionate presence, offering displaced residents hope and reassurance that the community will rebuild together. Since opening on October 8th of 2024, the team's commitment has been unwavering. Despite the daily challenge of navigating beach traffic, ongoing road construction, they were open every business day until the recent closure on March 28th of 2025. During that time, they served over 730 customers. With more than 1,300 storm-damaged properties, the team's goal has always been to expedite the permitting process and get residents back into their homes and businesses open. As of early mid-April of 2025, their efforts have contributed to the issuance of over 1,900 storm damage repair permits, a remarkable achievement. This initiative has been a true collaboration across city departments. Initially operating out of a borrowed police command center bus, the team relocated when the unit was commandeered for law enforcement needs. Excuse me. Parks and Recreation then stepped in, providing space at the Beach Rec Center's pool office, while IT and building maintenance quickly prepared the new workspace. And then, when core members of the Beach Pop-Up Permitting team took individual days off, other planning and development teammates stepped in to fill their roles, ensuring an uninterrupted service for our community. While this nomination recognizes 6 individuals, it's a testament to the power of teamwork across the city. Through their tireless dedication, the Beach Pop-Up Permitting team is not only facilitating recovery, but they are also embodying the spirit of resilience, service, and community. Their efforts truly make Clearwater bright and beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, yeah, watch your step. Good to see you. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before I go to our next first proclamation, those folks that just came up here, you know, there are a lot of things we did well through hurricane response, but I can't tell you the difference that pop-up permitting really made in the lives of our citizens and really helped us push the city forward to really make great strides in recovery. And so I thank them for the great work and thank the city team for leading that. That moved to item 4.2 and proclamation for Faith and Family Month. This time I'd like to call for Daniel Bernard from Somebody Cares Tampa Bay.
Mayor, these are just some of the other pastors
Yeah.
and so forth that are involved
Very
here.
good.
If you don't mind, I'll
Yeah.
let you know who they
I'll read-
are.
I'll read the proclamation
very
and give
good.
you a chance to say a few words.
Yeah.
Whereas Faith and Family Month 2025 will place an emphasis on family by the faith community and encourage participants to be family-centered for the entire month of June. And whereas the objective of Faith and Family Month 2025 is to encourage churches and businesses to support and encourage families by creating events that will educate, inform, and help deepen family relationships among husbands, wives, their children, grandparents, and grandchildren. And whereas churches and businesses will be organizing service days, the youth concert on National Children's Day, June 8th, and informative conferences. And whereas families who exercise their faith and regularly worship and practice their faith together are less likely to have spousal and child abuse, dysfunctional homes, fatherless, or divorce. Faith helps family members avert lives of addiction, crime, violence, and imprisonment. And whereas Faith and Family Month will make our city stronger by encouraging and strengthening families in Clearwater and making them healthier, more productive, and loving. Now therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim June 2025 to be Faith and Family Month in Clearwater and ask all citizens to join me in thanking those involved in this effort for their hard work and dedication to the betterment of our community.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Let me just first introduce those who are here. This is Pastor Carlton Childs, and he's with the president of the Upper Pinellas Ministerial Alliance. This is Kathleen Peck, and she is the pastor and director of Flowing River Ministries. And this is Pastor Ken Hope, and he's with Living Stones Church here in Clearwater. And this is Gabriel and Sabrina Bogart, and they are with City Gate Revival Center. And of course, you know, Director of Salvation Army, Ted Morris. So these are just some of the folks that are gathering together to help promote faith and family. And as you know, the concert that's there, and then the conference on the family that we're also doing, we're very excited about. But Mayor, your help and your leadership has really brought about really a snowball effect in that there are churches and organizations and businesses in Tampa and Pasco County and even in Polk County, in the city of Lakeland, that are taking up the mantle of Faith and Family Month and proclaiming that throughout all these areas, and I believe it's going to continue to expand. So we want to thank you and for stepping forward and helping us to promote and to proclaim June as Faith and Family Month.
Well, thank you for coming tonight, and certainly our families need strengthened more than ever with all the things coming at them nowadays, with technology and all the things, particularly youth. The strength of families certainly supported me as I was growing up, and our faith in our family, and so we hope that that will spread throughout Clearwater, throughout the Tampa Bay region, and throughout the state of Florida and the country. And I thank you for organizing this Faith and Family Month and the activities.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Come on up there. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Don't want to shake your hand, please.
Thanks. Hey, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Charles. We'll now move to item 4.3 on the agenda, EMS Week 2025. And this time I'd like to call forward Anthony Tedesco from City of Clearwater EMS Division Chief. Whereas the 2025 EMS Week theme, which is particularly meaningful now, is "We Care for Everyone," serves to remind people that everyday emergency medical teams are faced with so many new challenges in their lives, and yet they still rise above them all and continue to respond, support, and care for the needs of our communities. And whereas rapid access to quality emergency medical care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim May 18 through the 24th, 2025, to be Emergency Medical Services Week in Clearwater. Thank you, Chief, for coming in tonight.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Nice glasses. Oh, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Move to item 4.4, National Safe Boating Week Proclamation. This time I'd like to call forward Captain Karen Miller from the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Good to see you tonight, Captain. Whereas May 17th through the 23rd is National Safe Boating Week, and whereas boating is one of the largest recreational activities for residents of this community, and whereas the protection of life, limb, boats, and marine property are the legal and moral responsibilities of every boater, and whereas the City of Clearwater encourages all boaters and boating organizations to consider this an occasion to renew their determination to use courtesy and common sense afloat at all times. And whereas to this end, all boaters are asked to continue the spirit of Safe Boating Week throughout the entire year. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim May 17th through the 23rd, 2025, to be National Safe Boating Week in the City of Clearwater. Captain Miller, I want to thank you and the Coast Guard Auxiliary for all you do all year long to help educate boaters on boater safety and try to make our waterways safer. If we only had more who would participate in your education programs and activities, we would all be much safer and have a much more beautiful area. So would you like to say a few words?
If I could, please. I'd just like to very quickly introduce Mike, Sumsai, Betsy, Joe, Peter, Howard, Mike, Andre, Gerard, Steve, and Lisa first. Thank you again for the proclamation. It's so important to us and to your residents. As the Coast Guard Auxiliary, as Clearwater, is celebrating its 75th year, I hope you will all enjoy the mugs that we've placed up there. I'd like to emphasize just a few safety items. Always wear your life jacket. If your boat's equipped with an engine cutoff switch, use it. Always wear your life jacket. Boat sober. And in case I didn't say it before, always wear your life jacket. I want to invite the boaters to meet us at Bel Air Boat Ramp this coming Saturday. We're going to be doing vessel safety checks, and if your boat is nice and safe and listen to a discussion with us, you'll get a decal, the safety seal. And finally, we're offering a Boat America class on the 24th and 25th of this month in our Clearwater headquarters. I'd love people to come and be safer on the water. Even if they're new boaters or seasoned boaters, it's never bad to have a refresher. Finally, you can find us at www.cgauxclearwater.com. And again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thank you for
Thanks so
coming.
much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for all you're doing for us.
Appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Thanks for all you do.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Coming out. Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. And
Thank you for coming out.
did you say wear a life jacket? Yeah, okay. I will.
See you again.
Thank you.
guys. Yeah. See you again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. This time we'll move to item 4.5 on the agenda, Florida Water Reuse Week proclamation. This time I'd like to call forward Rich Gardner from our Public Utilities Director. Whereas safe, clean, and sustainable water resources are essential to Florida's environment, economy, citizens, and visitors. And whereas, although Florida's water supplies are finite, the state's population and need for water resources continues to increase. And whereas Clearwater reuses nearly 3.6 million gallons of reclaimed water per day, approximately 33% of the wastewater treated, to conserve freshwater supplies and recharge our freshwater resources. And whereas Clearwater's permitted reuse capacity is more than 12 million gallons per day, approximately 42% of Clearwater's total permitted capacity for all domestic wastewater treatment facilities. And whereas May, typically a dry month when water demands are high, is a good time to educate residents about how they can help save Florida's precious water resources through water reuse. Now therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim May 18th to the 24th, 2025, to be Florida Water Reuse Week in Clearwater. Thank you for coming tonight to accept the proclamation. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for supporting our reuse system. I'd like to introduce some of the people that manage and distribute that reuse system. Leonard Cox is the Supervisor 2 of the reclaim system. Andrew Blauvelt is the Assistant Manager, Reclaim and Wastewater Collection System. Michael Vaca, the Manager of the Wastewater, Water Distribution and Reclaim Distribution System, and Michael Flanagan, Assistant Director.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Thank you for all you do for helping us conserve water here in Clearwater.
Thanks. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out tonight. For all you're doing. Appreciate
It was good to see you, Rich. Thank you.
it. Thank you, Rich. Now move to item 4.6 on the agenda, Public Works Week proclamation. I'd like to call forward Jeremy Aileshouse, Interim Public Works Assistant Director. Whereas public works professionals on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Clearwater. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Clearwater to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canadian Public Works Association. Now therefore, I, Bruce Rector, Mayor of the City of Clearwater, Florida, on behalf of the Clearwater City Council, do hereby proclaim May 18th to the 24th, 2025, to be National Public Works Week in Clearwater. Thank you for coming out tonight. Would you like to say a few words about the work your team does?
Just real quick, also wanted to highlight, so Public Works includes public utilities, gas, solid waste. So when they're doing the Appreciation Week, just want to recognize all the divisions within the city. And Jeremy's Aileshouse isn't here tonight because he accepted the permanent assistant director. So told him go out and celebrate with his family. So good news, he's now our assistant director.
Well, we're so thankful for all the work you and your teams do to keep Clearwater running and to keep us safe and healthy. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll move to item 5.1 on the agenda.
Approve the minutes of the May 1, 2025 City Council meeting and the April 29, 2025 Special City Council meeting as submitted in written summation.
Move to approve agenda item 5.1.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Now move to the consent agenda. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent?
I've received requests to remove all items off the agenda.
Okay. All right, we'll move to item 6.1.
Approve co-sponsorship and waiver of requested city fees for 8 high-impact co-sponsored special events at an estimated cost for in-kind services of $514,390 and general fund funding for the community event co-sponsorship program cash contributions of $150,000 for the purpose of fiscal year 2025-26 departmental budget submissions, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Art Cater, Director of Parks and Recreation. The item before you this evening is to approve the annual co-sponsorship special event budget for fiscal year 25-26. We discussed this at our Monday work session, and if there's any additional information you need, I'm available to answer.
This time, is there anyone from the public that desires to speak to agenda item 6.1?
Good evening. My name is Philip Kitchens. I kind of want to apologize for pulling this off the agenda, but I live on Seaver Drive, which is part of the Turkey Trot. Promises have been made that the route would no longer come in front of Seaver. I guarantee you, it's there, and it's going to stay there. 2 people already on that street have sold their houses. Seaver Drive. If you come Hercules, you now have to go in. I should have explained all that.
This agenda item is regarding the high impact awards. This is.
The turkey trot, I'm sorry, the work
turkey trot's
session,
what you're talking about.
you include turkey trot discussion in this.
It's about
Is
the
this not
It's
appropriate
about the
time?
funding for these programs, yeah.
Okay, is it not appropriate to comment
It's
on
about
turkey
the
trot?
funding for the programs, is what we're.
Okay,
deciding.
no, I just, I
If you have
beg you to forgive me. I thought because you all made comments about turkey trot and the way it was run, you and you both made comments about turkey trot. So
You
if it's
go
not
ahead.
appropriate, I'll come back.
You can go ahead, but it's about the
No, I'll
funding.
come
It's
back.
about the
No,
funding.
the whole point I want to make is I want Clearwater safe. This event, and I wrote down, can we run this run safely in the year 2025? I've lived in this neighborhood for 30 years. I've seen every turkey trot for that period of time, and it's gotten to the point that I don't know. And you guys talk about being out and about. I don't see all you guys out and about as much as I am. I run into the mayor, I run into the manager. I don't run into all you guys. But last weekend, the number one item people wanted to talk to about was pedestrian safety. We have an event that I can give you examples of cars and people on the route at the same time. Dangerous, and particularly living at the end of the route where the stragglers come, and not only that, the police use unmarked cars and go up and down the route. I've seen ambulances come through the route, and sirens on, runners had to run out of the way. So that's the whole comment that we're now into an event that is morphed into something that didn't begin as it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be all on, and not only that, none of this race is run in any neighborhoods with a homeowners association. It would have never gotten this, but Seaver has no homeowners association. When you have 2 people that sold their houses, and there's a house on the sale on that street for $2.2 million right now. The average price in that neighborhood is very high, with no homeowners association, and the only thing you can do, either stay in Clearwater or leave. And I hate for it to be that vote, but when I see Clearwater, I'm being very negative, and I don't like being there, but it's a race that I see every year that I hold my breath that somebody didn't get hurt. And when I have gone to 2 funerals in the last year for pedestrians that got killed here in Clearwater, it becomes very personal. When you lose friends on Pinellas Trail because there's not an adequate lighting system to stop the traffic. And I'm talking about the Power Line Trail intersection at Druid right there by Home Depot, anyhow, I've said my piece. We got to be safe. We got to save the pedestrians. Thank you for your time and indulge me, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else desire to be heard on this agenda item?
Hi, friends. I don't even know your name, but it's nice to see a new face here, and I hope that you will actually help listen to some of the things that we say. Now, me personally, I don't live here in Clearwater, but I drove 4 hours just to come here to talk about things. And I can remember back when you talked about selling Drew Street or the Garden Street or whatever. It was like, oh, we're doing this to hold more money into the city. Well, here's $514,000 that you probably don't really need to spend. There's same thing with the 2 $500,000 boats. If you're really trying to save money and get rid of things that don't make money, I just named off this, your boats, and we can talk about Station Square where Ms. Texera and them live. You can get rid of that. They pay 11% of the HOA fees, but you're willing to give, $500,000. Oh, I forgot. Miss Texera, here you go. I brought you
Look,
chocolates
look,
again.
We're not gonna, you're out of order. Okay. We're gonna address.
How am I out of order? I'm addressing this.
You're gonna address the.
I am
agenda
addressing
issue.
this situation.
I
You're
don't know
giving
why-
out
I don't know why-
$500,000 and
I
you
don't
want
why-
to save money in the
You're
city.
out of order. Okay.
What are you
So,
talking
Address
about?
the issue. I don't know what the props are for.
The $500,000, that's the problem. You want to save money in this city, get rid of exorbitant amounts of money. Because there's more, guess who pulled it all? I did. I'm going to go through each one of these, every single one of them, like, why? Pay attention, Poirier, look up.
Okay,
I love Slaughter as he looks at me.
Address the council. This is your last warning. You're out of order.
I'm going to go sit down in my chair because I got plenty more to say.
Anyone else here tonight to discuss agenda item, wishes to comment on agenda item 6.1? Not is there council discussion? Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve agenda item 6.1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Agenda item 6.2.
Approve a First Amendment to an agreement between Boys and Girls Club of the Suncoast, Inc. and the City of Clearwater to change the name from Boys and Girls Clubs of Suncoast, Inc. to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Tampa Bay, and change address from 2300 Tail Pines Drive, Suite 150, Largo, Florida 33771 to 1307 North McDill Avenue, Tampa, Florida 33607, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Mayor, council members, we discussed this item at work session on Monday. If there's any questions you have, we're happy to answer.
Anyone here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.2?
Hi, friends. I went through some of the, PowerPoints and blah, 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 and I didn't really understand why it's a First Amendment to the agreement. Because from what I understand, the Boys and Girls Clubs already get money from the government. So I don't know why Clearwater, sure, you want to put your name on it and be like, oh, we're in support of the Boys and Girls Club, which I don't have a problem with, or the YMCA. I just don't know why it's on a consent agenda item, and whenever I go to look to see, whoa, where's the numbers? Are there any numbers? Is this just a free thing, or is this us, I wouldn't have drove 4 hours just to talk about nonsense. Let people understand. How many people watch? I looked at your YouTube channel. 100 people watched your friggin' video. So if 100 people out of 120,000 saw this and doesn't understand how to go to your PDFs and all this, why not just write it? Why doesn't this guy just say it? Is this going to cost the taxpayers money? That's my question. That'd be the first thing. Anytime you put something on this agenda, usually it involves money. And you want to save money, like I've heard you say about the whole garden and this, and we want to save money. I'm going to continue to say I've got 5 things that I've exposed on my YouTube channel, how you can save right now over probably almost $2 million if you just got rid of it. But I'm going to leave this one alone, and I'll see you in just a minute.
Does anyone else desire to speak to agenda item 6.2? Hearing none, is there any council discussion? If not, is there a motion?
Move to approve agenda item 6.2.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Agenda item 6.3.
Approve a work order to Moffitt and Nickel of Tampa Bay, Florida, under the continuing services contract for the design and permitting of the Clearwater Harbor Marina North Basin Repair Project in the amount of $145,904 pursuant to request for qualifications 34-23, Engineer of Record Consulting Services, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Good evening, Council. Mayor Mike McDonald, Marine and Aviation Director. As discussed at Monday's work session, this item is to approve an agreement to repair the or to design the repair of the harbor marina at, from Hurricane Helene. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.3?
All right, once again, I've put this specific item about the marina and the boats, and that the boats that you're not even running right now because of the accident that happened, tragic in its way. That wasn't even the boat that you guys already had in hand, and you're not even using the boat right now from my whistleblower. So for you to sit here and say, I want save 145,000, you already have 40, I think it's 45 million allocated to this friggin' marina, and you have to have another 100. Why wasn't this 145 put into that $45 million, and you just let these boats? Like, I get that you need a marina, because it's not just the Clearwater ferry. You've got, you know, tropic boat tours. You've got the pirate ship. You've got all these other entities that bring money into you. I get that. But if you really want to save money, I think this should have already been done prior. Even me, when I was running restaurants, I would literally write things up exactly what I wanted. Whatever it was, an oven, whether it was a friggin' refrigerator, I wrote up, and there was no hidden fees behind the scenes. It was like, this is what it costs, this is how much it costs to install, and I give you all the numbers. But for some reason, I've been to numerous meetings about this marina and these boats, and for some reason, more money. And just like I said before, Clearwater made of money, yay! I'm paying for those FDOT boats that you guys got. I'm gonna be paying for some of this right here. If this comes out of taxpayers' money, not only myself that lives 4 hours away, but every person in here, and you can't even say you guys are the taxpayers, but how do you pay taxes when you get paid by tax money? It's not possible. So don't say that you're paying taxes on this $145,000 garbage that should have already been allocated for your friggin' marina. You started out at like 13 million almost 8 years ago. And now here you are today at 45 million. And now, hey everybody, listen, we're just adding more money. It's just adding more.
You need to face the council while you're addressing.
Yeah, whatever. I just want I'm gonna talk to the people because
Taylor, you're out of order. You can't turn it. I'm gonna ask that you leave the meeting.
What did I?
Yeah, I've warned you. I've warned you 4 times. I'm gonna remove you from the meeting. You can't turn the back to.
I'll turn my back to you.
And you've been out of order 4 times already. We're gonna ask you to remove you from the meeting.
I'm leaving. I'm walking backwards. Hey, just make sure that she gets her chocolate. Or make sure she gets her chocolate, you pieces of shit. I didn't even do anything. I know, I'm leaving. Am I walking backwards, you stupid fuck? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Watch your language.
Fuck you too. I'll be back to the next meeting. I won't come back just to speak on consent agenda. Just give the people the public comment back the way it was, and I will walk away from this fucking
Okay, ma'am, are you the next speaker?
Yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Christine Scott, and you really need public comment, general public comment. It's
It's on this
legally
agenda.
mandatory. There is a problem within the marina and aviation where they're stepping outside of their jurisdiction and acting on behalf of Parks and Recs. It's not their job to do it. They do not have the authority to do it. They're hired for aviation and marina, and they really need to stay within that area. I've had problems because of that, and these problems end up affecting you. okay? And you're ultimately responsible for those problems. I'm telling you this because you need to address it. Thank you for your time.
So, any other citizens to be heard on this agenda item?
Mr. Mayor and councilmen, I sat through this, which was, your tolerance and patience is exemplary. But this young man over here with the camera gave me an obscene gesture, as well as the obscene words. I would ask that he be escorted out as well. We care about the city. We care about what you're doing. We can't be disrespectful to you or to us as those people who care. So I would ask that he be excused as well.
Thank you,
You're
Member Speaker.
welcome.
Thank you. We'll pay attention. We're asking everyone to be respectful to one another. I didn't see what you're talking about, but you're out of order, okay? If you want to come up and speak to the podium, you have an opportunity to do it about this agenda item. Other than that, do not interrupt people. This is your first warning, okay? Yes. You need to address this agenda item, though.
But the drugs that boat accident, I seen the video on that, right? And that boat owns 60 people on that boat. Am I correct? The boat that was in the accident, it held 60 people on that boat. I could not even see it at nighttime. Why were there no lights on that boat so where everybody can see if anybody fell off that boat? Are you responsible for that now too?
If the agenda item's regarding the marina, do you have a comment on the
The
marina?
boat does not fit in a marina.
Okay.
This is water. I'm just dumbfounded right now. Is it not water we are talking about? Right, so why am I not talking about a problem that happened a month ago that should have been issued with, that should have more than one light on it for 60 people? To let people know there's a lot more people on this boat than 2, 3, or 6 people. Please give me an answer and not a confounded word. Do you understand what I just said?
Sir, this is your opportunity to make comments to us. Okay, it's not a conversation.
I can't hear you. I didn't hear what you said. You need to speak up. I'm hard of hearing. Did you hear what I said? Or
This is
you
your
just
time.
an
This is your time to speak.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a question, and you're not giving me my response. I'm trying to find out why are you investing money and you don't care about people's safety on the boat? There should have been more than one light on that fuel. Have you changed that around at all? Did you make some type of a plan? Hey, let's put more lights on these vehicles so no other boat will do the same thing again. Yeah, that makes sense, right? But you know who's gonna pay for it? Not you, not you, not you, not you.
Okay. Gentlemen, sir, time's up.
Hey, you can take that
And you're out of
hammer.
order, okay?
Take the hammer and put it where you belong it.
It's your first warning. Anyone else desire to be heard on agenda item 6.3? If not, is there any council discussion? If not, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda item.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Agenda item 6.4.
Authorize the First Amendment to the agreement with Whitlock Consulting Group of Beaufort, South Carolina for project management and professional services in support of utility billing system upgrades for the term July 1, 2025 through December 21, 2025, in a not-to-exceed amount of $173,812 for a total not-to-exceed amount of $548 pursuant to RFP 20-24, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Mayor, Council, Dan Mayer, IT Director. This is for support services associated with us upgrading our billing system. It does all our reporting and sends out our utility bills to all our customers. I'll take any questions.
Does anyone here from the public desire to be heard regarding agenda item 6.4? If,
Just a quick question. Is the utility upgrades going to be retained to businesses in all of Clearwater as well? Just because my major concerns with all the utility infrastructure that we have in Clearwater does need upgrading. It seems very complicated to administrate. It seems there's a lot of issues, especially with water and electrical. It seems that we have a dated system. I'm just scared that if we automate it too much, that we lose that kind of like interaction where a lot of these more complicated issues can be addressed when we deal with older infrastructure. So I like the move to automation. I'm wary that too much move to automation at these high prices will kind of further complicate more detailed matters that tend to happen with businesses. That's my only concern. I hope it addresses it.
thank you. Anyone else here desire to be heard regarding agenda item 6.4? If there's none, is there any council discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item 6.4.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Agenda item 6.5.
Authorize a purchase order and agreement between Zivcom Services LLC located at 1310 10th Street East, Unit G, Palmetto, Florida, and the City of Clearwater to provide vessel removal, towing, storage, and/or disposal services to accommodate all needs of the Clearwater Police Department and the Marine and Aviation Department in the amount of $100,000 for the initial term with 2 one-year renewal options pursuant to request for proposal 12-25, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Good evening again, Mike McDonald, Marine and Aviation Director. This is an agreement with the contract to remove vessels in the Clearwater area. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone here from the public desire to be heard on agenda item 6.5?
I'm Mr. Haluba. Mr. Menino is a four-flusher. Now, Divecom. This is just another thinly veiled money grab by Clearwater Police. Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is responsible for removing derelict vessels in the entire state of Florida. Therefore, the removal, towing, storage, disposal, all of these things are under the jurisdiction of FWC. This is not the jurisdiction of Todd Johnson and Clearwater Police. It's just another example of Clearwater Police overreach in their ongoing attempts to justify their existence. As we saw with the Clearwater Ferry disaster, PCSO is the primary law enforcement agency. Now, this money is to be paid from the general fund, not the bloated police budget. I don't understand that. However, if there's any diving to be done, fortunately, we have the double dipper, Eric Gandy, who is a diver in more ways than one. I guess that's why his hearing is hosed up. do not approve this unnecessary transfer of funds.
Does anyone else here desire to be heard on agenda item 6.5? Okay. Hearing none, is there any council discussion? If there's none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve 6.5.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Agenda item 6.6.
Award a construction contract for Razorback LLC of Tarpon Springs, Florida, for reverse osmosis plant 2 injection well retrofit in the amount of $213,888.40 pursuant to invitation to bid 20-0020 UT. Approved supplemental work order 2 to WSP USA Inc. for construction oversight and SCADA programming for the RO2IW1 retrofit in the amount of $57,443.80, increasing the project amount from $127,313.80 to $184,357.60 pursuant to continuing contract awarded in request for qualifications 26-19, engineer of record consulting services, and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Rich Gardner, Director of Public Utilities. The item before you today is for a contract with Razorback to retrofit the RO2 water treatment plant injection well and a supplemental work order for WSP USA to provide construction oversight for the project. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.6? If there's none, is there any council discussion? If not, is there a motion?
Move to approve agenda item 6.6.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Agenda item 6.7.
Authorize a purchase order to Razorback LLC for clarifier maintenance and services in the annual not to exceed amount of $515,000 with the option for 2 one-year renewals pursuant to ITB 15-25 and authorize the appropriate officials to execute same.
The item before you today is for a purchase order with Razorback for inspection, maintenance, and repair of the city's water reclamation facilities clarifiers. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anyone here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 6.7? Hearing seeing none, is there any council discussion? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item 6.7.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Agenda item 7.1.
Mayor, we have 3 ordinances. We have 9822-25. First, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, annexing certain real property located on the south side of Laverne Street, approximately 175 feet west of Ridge Avenue, whose post office address is 1609 Laverne Street, Clearwater, Florida, 33755, into the corporate limits of the city and redefining the boundary lines of the city to include said addition, providing an effective date. Next up, we have ordinance number 9823-25, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city to designate the land use for certain real property located on the south side of Laverne Street, approximately 175 feet west of Ridge Avenue, whose post office address is 1609 Laverne Street, Clearwater, Florida, 33755, upon annexation into the City of Clearwater as residential low, RL, providing an effective date. Finally, we have ordinance number 9824-25, an ordinance of the City of Clearwater, Florida, amending the zoning atlas of the city by zoning certain real property located on the south side of Laverne Street, approximately 175 feet west of Ridge Avenue, whose post office address is 1609 Laverne Street, Clearwater, Florida, 33755, upon annexation into the City of Clearwater as low-medium density residential, LMDR, providing an effective date.
Good evening, Lauren Matzke, Planning and Development. This is a standard voluntary annexation for a detached dwelling on 0.16 acres of land located at 1609 Laverne Street. The parcel has the single-family home on it, and the applicant is requesting annexation for solid waste and sanitary sewer services. Staff analysis concluded that the annexation petition is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and the community development code as detailed in the staff memo, and staff is recommending approval.
Does anyone here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 7.1?
Again, my name is Christine Scott, and I want to make sure that you're aware, and I'm putting you on notice, that if you do not bring public comment back, I will file
ma'am, this is
federal
about-
charges
this is about
on
annexation.
this. You may not interrupt me.
Ma'am, you're out of order. You
No,
have to-
actually, you are, and
you
I
have to
will
speak to the agenda
file
you have to-
federal charges on this.
out of order,
You may not
ma'am.
violate
You're
the
out of
law.
order, ma'am.
You are.
I'm asked that you
You
leave.
are.
You leave the meeting.
You are.
Does anyone here from the public desire to speak to this agenda item? If not, is there any council discussion?
Is there a law that says I have to leave? I don't care what the mayor says, he is not the authority, the legislature is. Now, are you breaking the law, Richmond? Are you breaking the law? Do I have a legal obligation to leave? Do I have a legal obligation to leave? What is the legal obligation? I don't care what the mayor says, the mayor does not have the authority over legislature, does he? You're breaking the law, don't touch me.
Anyone else here from the public desire to speak to agenda item 7.1? If not, is there any council discussion? Now, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve agenda item 6.7.
Excuse me,
Second.
7.1.
Is it
7.1.
7.1.
Oh, my apologies, 7.1.
Second.
Going backwards.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Apologies, Lena.
Moved to item 8 on the agenda, city manager reports. Anything? Okay. Item 9, city attorney reports.
No, sir.
Item 10, closing comments by council members. Councilmember Cotton.
No, we had a lot of proclamations tonight. Looking forward to EMS Week and all of the public service awards and everything that went out. Thank you to everybody. Really looking forward to the Faith and Family Month that's coming up. I think that was really a cool thing that the city's starting. There's going to be a great event, and I would tell everybody to go and check it out because it's going to be great. Thank you.
Councilmember Menino.
Mayor, thank you. First, thank those in attendance for your patience and understanding as we all get through those. We have a lot of distractions, but it is part of what we go through, and they have the right to speak. And so thank you for sitting in the seats and for your patience. I do want to congratulate the entire Christian community around the world for the new Pope Leo the 14th. Very exciting. Pray for his wisdom and guidance continuing across the world. I want to comment on, we had International Firefighters Day, and on that weekend we had a fire ops training, which was very exciting. I didn't go through the training this year and carry the gear around. I did last year, but I was there, and congratulate our entire staff and the men and women that put on another great fire ops session. To the men and women of our police department, the Clearwater FOP Fallen Officers Memorial was as professional and as emotional as ever. I want to thank our staff for putting that on, and heartfelt love and compassion from this entire dais to those families that are still struggling, as well as the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office Fallen Officers Memorial, which was done very well as well. Thoughts and prayers go out there as well. Thank you.
Councilmember Albritton.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about PSTA's Industry Day that's going to be coming up on June 2nd and 3rd at the Palm Room, and from 10 to 1 p.m. And actually, this is a day that's prior to the release of solicitation of contractors for our new multimodal Clearwater station. And anybody that wants to see any of the conceptual drawings and exactly what it's going to look like, it'll be all presented then. It'd be very good. I brought up on the monitor here, which you can get through PSDA, and it gives you some more information on that. Also, Clearwater Historical Society is having a Graduation is Not Goodbye event, May 16th through June 28th from 10 to 2, Wednesday through Saturday. It's the Museum Teen Advisory Board and Rho Kappa, the Clearwater High School group, and they're going to celebrate history, community, and the power of giving back. And it'd be, I think it's a good event. If you could stop by, that's on 610 South Fort Harrison Avenue at the Clearwater Historical Society.
Vice Mayor Teixeira.
Well, it was a grueling week, but rewarding nonetheless. I want to begin by thanking all those involved in the Oceana fundraiser event at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. It was for a good cause. It's to help them recover from the hurricanes. I am very thankful for all the CMA staff and the support and all the volunteers that helped. I was blessed to have very talented individuals wearing my collection. I want to thank the Coastal Ballet Company of Florida for joining the cast. And I'm very proud of the young artists from Clearwater High School, led by teacher extraordinaire Meg Hoffman. And last but certainly not least, all those who attended the event and supported this great cause. Last but not least, I want to acknowledge and thank our city manager and all staff that participated in the negotiating of and discussions regarding the Garden Avenue. I understand how challenging that is to speak for, represent 5 very different individuals within the Sunshine. Your hard work has been noted, and thank you.
Okay, my closing comments. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I know there was a South Garden Avenue agenda item was on previously, and then last night the flag organization pulled their application. They withdrew their application, so we didn't have a pending application to vacate the street to really discuss tonight. But I wanted to share with everyone here that we've gotten a lot of emails, and I read them all, and I think all of us read every email that comes through. And so if you came tonight to share thoughts and you hadn't shared them yet, I encourage you to still go ahead and share those thoughts with us. We'd love to hear them. We'd love to read them. Just to know what your feelings were about that issue after tonight. And we will read them. We read them all. And I can tell you the communications on that issue have been heavy the last 2 days for all of us up here. So again, it's not on tonight, but those of you that wrote to us or came to a prior meeting and spoke, really appreciate you being involved in the community and speaking your mind on that issue, which is very important to the future of not just downtown Clearwater, but Clearwater. So thank you for that. And then I also just want to thank our team for all, we had Public Works here tonight, and we also had the Planning Department here, and as I said earlier, the pop-up permitting was, I tell other folks around the country, if there's one thing that we did differently than a lot of other communities after the hurricanes, it was the pop-up permitting. And I remember one of them came to one of our prior meetings and said, well, that first week we were out there on the tennis courts at the Clearwater Beach Rec Center, and we didn't really issue that many permits. And what people did who had lost, some cases, everything they owned, they came in and they sat in that trailer and just talked with them and grieved. And our staff really didn't do a lot of permitting that first week or two. They just listened to folks and helped them through a significant loss and grief. So I wish I had a chance to, I didn't time it right to say that while they're still here, but city manager and all of our city team, what an amazing job. Throughout the hurricanes, but particularly that pop-up permitting. It put us so far ahead of other communities in being responsive to folks getting permits out, but it was just really in the neighborhoods, close to the people touch, that will be a shining example, I think, for the rest of the country in recovering from disasters. So thank you for that. And thank you again for coming here tonight. And with that, we will adjourn the May 15, 2025 meeting of the Clearwater City Council.